I'm on my own, broken and alone. I feel the rain crashing down all around this empty town. I'm searching for the lost and found, but you don't care, you're unaware. Keep moving like the scars aren't even there. It's in the air like a blazing flare. Just stare 'cause the flames will burn us. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. I used to kiss your head when you cried for me. Hold your hand while the pain was over. Keep you warm by the roaring sea. You meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. My darling dear, you're never here. When I'm in pain, you hide and disappear. Like shadows in the atmosphere, charting the stratosphere. Yeah. I prayed for you and kept you near, in hopes you'd chase away my fears. I'm on my own, you made it so, and now I'm chasing nightmares too. I used to run with you through the great big leaves.
Hello, and a very happy Monday to you. Welcome to the Roommates Podcast, where it's three of us roommates talking about random things, great things.
Yep.
We just got back from a great vacation. We went to Palm
Great.
Beach. It was great. Went to Palm Beach, and it was fantastic. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we went last year on a cruise for our. We have a buddy whose birthday is around this time, and last
Yep.
year we went on a cruise with him, and this year we just did a staycation.
Yeah.
I guess.
It was an Airbnb staycation. We actually spent more time at the Airbnb than anything else, for the most part.
Yeah, because it was nice. It had like a pool and a grill.
Yeah.
It had many grills. There was like, what, 3-4 grills?
Yeah, there's 3 or 4 grills, and then an amazing pool and a little hideaway garden, which I really, really, really enjoyed. That was awesome. Good times. West Palm Beach, though, very, very ritzy. Very for
Oh
the
my God, yeah.
different class of people out there. But we did finally find the public beach, and the beach was it was brown. It wasn't like white sands or anything like you're used to on the Gulf Coast, but it was like a normal one. But it was tiny. It wasn't very big at all.
Yeah, we probably should have
Sadly.
researched the beach a little bit better.
Just a little.
We never do that. When we go vacation somewhere, we never research it beforehand. We always just kind of show up like, all right, let's find something to do. And then we get lost. So
Yes.
that's kind of our bad.
It is. And then during that time, I did reveal where I'm taking you for our 1 year
Yeah.
anniversary.
Okay, so Jeff had told me like around payday not to look at the bank account, and I was like, okay, that's
Yeah.
fine. And I was like, I know you're planning something. I don't know what it is. I assumed a trip because that's the only thing I could think of that I would want expensive enough for me to notice it was gone from the bank account
Yeah.
is travel. And he told me finally while we were in Palm Beach that we're going to Colorado Springs for our 1 year anniversary because I have been telling Jeff I want to go to Colorado.
To the garden
For 6
of the
years.
gods. The garden of the gods.
Yeah.
Be a lot of hiking and you'll actually get to experience the fall.
I know. He said that.
Winter.
He's like, this is definitely a trip for you because, it's all hiking and
I'll be freezing.
cannabis and all the things that I'm into that Jeff has no interest in.
Yeah.
But it's going to be awesome because I'm going to be probably like a little kid the whole time, like so excited.
There was a little restaurant that we were recommended because we did meet up with 2 people from OCRP while we were there. And we went to a place called Lenora's. It's an Italian restaurant right there in Palm Beach, right downtown, actually, West Palm Beach.
Palm Beach.
Palm Beach. And we went the first day and it was like kind of elegant and kind of nice, but it was like right off the the road. And then the second time we ended up going there yesterday before we left because I was like, this is amazing, like absolutely incredible. And we went there again, and it was just like a party going on in there.
It was their brunch, but it was like having brunch in a nightclub. There was a
It was
DJ.
bottomless. It was $18 for bottomless mimosas.
Yeah, and you could
Sounds
tell
like a party.
people were there to party at like 1 p.m. and
Yep.
they had music at 1,000,000 decibels. It was the weirdest brunch I've ever witnessed.
Yeah, but they're still serving like all the fancy, delicious foods. It was strange, but it was awesome.
Yes. We are also on we're on Spotify, like we said before. Actually, you can find it now.
Yep.
You can find you just look up Roommates Podcast and not the Roommates Podcast, Roommates Podcast, and you'll see our 3 heads on there.
So
I might have to click on all podcasts.
I heard
right?
Jeff
Yes.
has a motivational speech for all of us.
I do have a motivational speech because we got our first
I can't wait.
we got our first like kind of like long form text or comment about our podcast, our first hate. But the difference is that this was not on the Roommates Podcast. It wasn't on our YouTube channel. It was on one of my American Truck Simulator videos.
Yeah, because you mentioned it, and I was like,
Well,
"What
it's
are you?"
well put together.
I
And,
was like,
and
"What are
there's
you
some,
talking about?"
There's some. It's not like just like I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. It's a little. It's not too long either, but I'll tell you.
Oh god.
I'm not gonna say what his name is, but he says a podcast with 3 random people talking about random stuff they are likely not qualified to talk about. Sounds pretty much like the worst type of podcast there is. So we're not qualified to talk about the things that we talk about.
Everybody's qualified to give their opinions.
I think that's absolutely true. It kind of goes back to the whole thing of in marketing, you're worth way more than what you think. Like your ideas and what you have written down is in a pamphlet or whatever. No one can say that that's worth $40 or that's not worth $400. So intellectual property, like, I don't know. We're not qualified to talk about it, so what am I talking about? But
Well, I
like,
mean-
why would I waste my time listening to you? What do you offer that's not offered by literally a million other random podcasters? Have you asked yourselves these questions? And we have. Like, what do we have to offer? This podcast is not meant to rival another podcast or anything like that. We're just 3 people talking about subjects that are popular out there. And we aren't like a style of like we have a guest and we interview with them or something like that. Like we're not even close to something like that currently with our format. But most podcasts are incredibly hard to listen to because of how little work they put in to make it interesting to listen to. But they can still gather an audience due to the insight and expertise that they can provide their chosen topics. This comes back to the whole thing of why are we not qualified to talk about gaming?
This is already getting to TLDR for me. I would have skipped it. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Who's qualified him to write this comment? Because I hate
Yeah,
it.
what are
Let's
his
skip it.
qualifications?
That's how I understand how he feels. I do, because that's exactly how I feel about this comment. I feel like I don't care. He obviously he cares enough to write a book
Yeah.
to people. I just don't care enough to read it.
I understand that, but I'll take the criticism for sure. And yeah, I mean, there's some valid arguments. What are you doing different than anybody else? But we're not trying to be somebody else or rival them.
And the thing is, he threw blanket statements out there saying, "Why would I waste my time listening to this when you guys aren't?" If he's not listening, he doesn't know what we're talking about. When it comes to like certain things in the gaming industry, I'm very qualified. I've worked in game companies. I have a degree. I have a college degree in game design. Like I know that stuff. So yes, on certain topics, I'm incredibly qualified. So screw this guy.
Dave is triggered. You guys are triggered.
I'm not triggered. I just don't care, and I don't want to sit there and give somebody the time to take in that much of that bullshit. That was enough for me to read. That I was like, yeah, that's okay. We get it. That's enough. Like,
Okay.
I mean, I'm giving my honest opinion.
I get
on
it.
Do I need to like hang my degrees behind me during the podcast?
God, no. Please don't ever do something like that. Or qualifications. No, I just found that amusing. And that that is true. But it comes
Is that
down
the
to
comment that got you all upset? Like you were like,
No,
you're like,
not
there's
at all.
just getting shit on videos that have nothing to do with nothing.
No, that was not to do with that.
Oh.
And that has everything to do with, I don't know what happened, but the floodgates kind of just opened up in like I can't even, like I was telling Dave, I think it's literally 1 to 100 comments now are garbage. Or no, 1 in 100 are good. Out of 100, just absolutely terrible. But that's what happens whenever the channel grows. It accrues different people, and it's just been pretty much nonstop. I don't know what's been going on, but there's like a shift of just like really mean stuff being said constantly. So I don't know what's going on with that.
Well, I mean, people have too much time on their hands right now because of what Fortnite's pulling.
Yes. The black hole.
Oh,
I
there
found
you
that
go.
so...
Oh, it's hilarious. I watched, they did a live event for it.
right.
And
Yeah, I saw that.
I went and I watched the video of the whole thing happening, and the people were on the server. And when it happened, they're all like, "Oh no, the map's gone, her." And they're like, "Wait, there's just an exit button." And they click it, and they're like, "It says exit Fortnite." They're like, "This can't be right." And they click it, and they try and get back in the game, and it's just that screen again. And they were like, "What is going on?" Like, they were freaking out. So, yeah.
It's still currently down right now.
Yep. So someone did some data mining on the website, and they found. So today currently is October 14th on a Monday. Tomorrow on Tuesday, the 15th, at 6 a.m. is when the website is supposed to update. So people think at 6 a.m. the game's coming back online, everything's going to update, and it's going to be the new map or whatever.
Yeah.
So, what is the plan with the podcast then? Since Dave's the only person here that you feel like's qualified to do anything, is it going to be just a strictly gaming podcast?
What? No.
So that's what I'm saying. How would you then make it to be something that we're all?
So
I don't think I'm qualified to talk about anything on this podcast.
So
Well, I disagree because you're an entertainer. Like that's your actual job is in entertainment. So when we talk about YouTube and things like that,
Right.
you're qualified. When we talk about anything like NASCAR or flight related,
Yeah, that's true. I can see that.
that's what I'm saying. So maybe that's right. You guys should find a direction you want to take the podcast, and it can be around your qualification.
I don't want a podcast like that.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, I could run a gaming podcast or a tech podcast and talk about computer nerdy things, and I would have fun. I have fun doing this, but I don't want to do that.
Our format is
I
just
don't wanna do that.
sitting down and talking about topics
And a lot
like
of
we normally do anyway.
a lot of the times we're talking like because we talk about stuff that we find interesting. Even like the Fortnite news. It's like, okay, none of us play Fortnite. We can still talk about it because it's
It's
we're
a big
gamers.
deal right now, and people are all up in arms about it being gone. They can't play Fortnite right now. I'm sure the kids are losing their minds. They're probably throwing their iPads across the room and stuff. But when I saw it, it was like they were all just like in awe that it was just like, well, that's really cool what they decided to do. Like
Yeah.
I don't play Fortnite or anything, but what they did is cool. That's a good way to just absolutely be like, okay, we're done with this map. We know. Everybody knows this map, whatever. This is a way to destroy it and move on to the next map. I think that's a really cool and new, fresh idea.
Yeah.
I think that's really neat. So it's definitely not dead. That is way too big of a entity to ever
Oh
just
no!
throw in the
This
trash.
got them
Be like,
so much.
No, we don't want it.
So much buzz and talk. Like apparently, Apex Legends put out a new map 2 weeks ago, and they got a huge surge.
Right.
So them doing this it's turning on the hype train to 1,000. Like this is the best thing they could have done.
Well, I guess Overwatch will be coming out with their new Halloween DLC, right?
It's already active.
It's already active. There you go. I haven't played Overwatch in a few months.
Yeah, it's been a while for me. But kind of with what Nicole was saying, the reason I brought the Fortnite thing back up is typically what we talk about, I feel like falls in most of our wheelhouses because we are interested in that stuff. It tends to be focused around entertainment, gaming, YouTube, Twitch.
Yes.
And even outside of that, it's like if we have to be qualified to talk about it, we're never going to talk about anything dealing with science. None of us are scientists. Like, it's just...
Speak for yourself.
It doesn't make sense. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah. Jeff with
I played Kerbal Space Program. Okay, I know everything there is to know about rocket science. I play American Truck Simulator. I know how to drive a truck.
Okay.
All jokes aside, you have been reading that book so far. This is based off of diets back in the day. how women stayed
no,
skinny for the most part. But there were some interesting nuggets of the article.
What happened is, first of all, Jeff's referring to this book. Dave, do you mind? No, do you mind?
Oh no, but so for those for people that are listening, can you tell us the title of the book?
Yes.
Yeah, it's The Skinny, What Every Skinny Woman Knows About Dieting. But what happened was, because that's not a book I would just buy to read.
Right, I know that.
I Googled, how were women in the 90s so thin? And I can't remember what we were watching. I think it was Ghostbusters or something.
Yeah.
But every woman in all these movies we were watching was like super tiny. And I was like, how did they do this? And this lady wrote basically a book about all the shit she went through to stay extremely skinny. And like her group of friends, they were all famous people. But apparently they were like putting bleach in their food and shit to try and keep themselves from eating.
How would that not kill you?
I don't know. You could just microdose. You don't eat it. Once you get a piece of food that has bleach on it, you stop eating. You're like, oh, fuck. Bleach. No thanks.
Oh, so they did that as a deterrent to stop eating the food?
It's like to make you not want to eat.
Oh.
Oh my, what? Like,
Dude,
seriously?
girls do some crazy
No, when she told me about
shit.
this, I was like, this is really interesting, actually. I wanted to talk about it. Like, that's just one example, is bleaching your food.
I mean, like, I understand not everyone has the same level of willpower, but like, to have to like basically make your food poison so you stop eating, that's a bit insane.
I have spent the last like 48 hours watching just multiple episodes of My 600-Pound Life.
Yes.
So I understand that there
you.
are people who don't know how, like, they don't have willpower at all. Like, there's no willpower.
No. That is such a good show to watch. Like, it's incredibly entertaining, but like you root for them the whole time. The husband and or boyfriend, usually husband, is always an absolute piece of shit.
Not every time.
90% of the time, he's a piece of shit, and he says the most hateful things, and the side comments during
That's because
the treatment.
somebody who's 700 pounds probably has no self-esteem. So
Don't let 'em do it, yeah.
They end up with somebody who treats them like shit because they feel like that's how they deserve to be treated.
Yep. And it doesn't stop there, because even when we watched Skin Tight, which is where they cut the excess skin off, which they say excess skin like 500 times per episode. But when they cut that off, they still have to deal with like the same thing. Like,
Yeah, I'm obsessed with Skin Tight is the other one. Like,
that's
after
a really
people
good
have
show
gone
too.
through. But I told Jeff once because I used to be a much bigger person. I was about 250 pounds. Like a little over, I'm sure, but the last I weighed myself, it was 250. Not now, but like back in the day.
Right.
But
I don't think a lot of people know your story about that.
Yeah, so I lost about 100 pounds. I got down to like 152. And then we moved here. Well, what happens when you lose a bunch of weight, obviously, for those of you who don't know, is like your skin may not have the elasticity to bounce back into the place where it should be. So a lot of areas sag, like under your arms and your stomach and your boobies. So when we first moved down to Florida, like a couple weeks after we moved,
Yeah.
I flew back home and stayed with my mom because I was planning on getting a boob job. I don't have big boobies, but they're kind of just put back in place now. And I told Jeff when I get back down to that size again, we move back to St. Louis, I have like extra skin around my stomach.
Right,
I'm
from
getting
when
it
you
cut
lost.
off, but it looks terrifying. The doctor wanted me to do both at the same time. Sorry if you guys are like squeamish to this stuff.
No.
But when you get your like a tummy tuck, they slice you from hip to hip. Like
Yeah.
it's like you're being cut in half. Dave's gonna pass out, but
Well, we're not showing like graphic images or looking at images of this, but when you watch
just
it,
think
it's
about
insane.
something else. This is
Yes.
why I don't talk, is the stuff that I have a background in healthcare. 'Cause
That is true.
I was a
That is
CNA
banned
for
from
a
the
long
show.
time, and that's banned from the show because
Yes.
Dave can't handle it. But you have to wear like drains and stuff, and I was like, this is a lot
Yeah.
of work. I don't know if I can do this right now.
But the reason why, the reason behind wanting to get that procedure done is not because you're like, oh, I need a tummy tuck because I gained weight and I just want a tummy
No.
tuck. No, it's because these people's like your struggle with that issue is just loose skin, extra skin from when you lost all your weight.
Well, and I love watching that because hearing other people say the exact same thing that I say, and that's like, what was the point? What was the point of working hard and losing weight when like you just are left feeling just as gross about yourself, but you're working hard to stay like a normal weight or good looking or trim or whatever you're trying to do, but it's pointless if it feels pointless. Not that it is. Obviously, there are many health benefits to being not obese.
I can definitely empathize with that. That would be sucky for sure to go through all that time, to lose all that weight, to go through this struggle, and then have all this loose skin on you, and then be like, well, I have this.
Yep.
The only way you can get rid of that is by surgically removing it.
And that's why like a lot of those people say that. They say it feels like the new me is trapped inside of the old me. Like,
right. You're reminded every day.
Every day you see it and you're just like, and that lady we watched last night said exactly, man, I feel all the stuff they're feeling. But she said, I feel like all of this loose skin is punishment for what I did to myself, like for letting myself get that big. I'm like, man, how shitty is that we do that as people, though? Everything bad that happens, we feel like is a punishment. I mean, a lot of people feel that way. I wonder if that's a religious guilt type of thing. Like, we're punished for our sins.
I mean, essentially, it depends on the person and that situation that we saw. Some of that did play into that. Another thing that we did watch over the course was a great one, which was the Satanist documentary. That was really interesting to learn about the other side of where Satanism comes from and how they're like, well, we don't like worship Satan and all this stuff. They're like, we're just the opposite of every organized religious group. And their main goal is to remove that from politics.
Well, they said it's the Satanic Temple.
Jesus.
So, no, because there's a few organizations. I think it was the Satanic Temple is the one the documentary covered.
Right.
And they said they are an atheist organization. Like, they go with under the name of Satan because, they are anti-religion. And they said
that they are not atheists.
Oh, no. The founder said that on one of the news clips that they are an atheist organization.
Oh.
No, he said they are a non-theist organization.
Oh,
yes, not atheist. It's
non-theist.
There's a difference there, but the whole thing is
it just means they have no God.
Yes, they don't believe in a God.
But he did say, I know where Dave's coming from because he did say it's not that Satan is their God, it's that there is no God. Like, they don't have a religious God.
Right.
But they did say they use Satan almost metaphorically as like a opposition.
Correct.
They're like, if they created Satan as the opposition to their God, then we're just going to celebrate Satan
instead.
Theoretically, not actually worship him, but as an ideal.
Right.
To be anti-religion.
I remember it was around 2009 or so. A person that I went to school with, he was living with my brother actually at the time, and he was a Satanist. And I was like, okay, that's great. Don't know, don't ask. It was like a don't ask, don't tell thing. Like when we would be out hanging out, having a beer or whatever, he would go into his spiel, and I'd be like, well, I'm just gonna go walk off because I don't have to listen to this crap. But in my mind, I didn't know what it really was. I thought he just like worshiped the devil. I was like, all right, that's cool. But it turned out that it started out as more of a troll than anything originally with Satanism. I gotta say that I do fall behind the lines of them wanting to remove religion from the state or from politics in general. I do agree with that. The other side of the coin is that, well, they did have a little extremist there in their group in the temple, and she went batshit crazy and was asking to get the president killed and all this other stuff. And you're going to get extremists in any group you're in.
But that's why I disagree with that. I don't even know how we got on the Temple of Satan. How did we get here?
Jeff brought it up because
I
we watched
disagree with. I agree with their ideals for the most part. I completely disagree with an organized group of people that are basically turning themselves into their own religion.
Yeah, they're
It's
just as
fucking
bad as
stupid.
Yeah.
I have no issue with any religion. I have an issue with the organization because.
Yep.
Like, for fuck's sake, I think if there's anything that the three of us are all very qualified on, it's what it's like to be a big part of organized religion.
Yes, we've all.
You had Catholicism crammed down your throat. I had Mormonism crammed down my throat. Like,
I had Christianity. I've
Yeah.
had Baptist, like everything thrown at me. But no, I do agree with that because that was the one thing that I noticed. I was like, well, I understand what they're trying to say, but when they're getting like together and they're rallying and doing all this stuff and trying to get a statue put up and stuff, I'm like, they're just the same as any other religious group out there. So if you have a problem with them getting involved in with this, then check yourself in the mirror for sure. That's what I am saying.
I think because that documentary was a little cringy at points, but
Yes.
it's equally it's equally
great to watch.
like uncomfortable for me to watch. Like some of the Satanists or like extremist people, justice warriors, it's equally uncomfortable to watch that as it is to watch like politicians, people who actually hold positions of power in our government, be like, we are a nation under God.
Yes.
We will. Like,
We
oh
will.
my God. Like,
You must
They
repent
will burn
for
and-
your Jeez Louise, that dog is going crazy over the
I see
cat.
that.
That's all right.
But them yelling about how people are going to go to hell and people are trying to ruin America by, tearing down the
Yeah.
Bible. It's like, no, because America's not a fucking religious country. And in God, all of that stuff wasn't even put on our currencies when the fucking Declaration of Independence was around.
Yeah.
It was in the 1950s, I think, is when that was added, when it became
Yeah.
America's slogan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that-
it was a little earlier than
Yeah,
Or
so
in
there
the
was
40s or
there was
something.
so much cringe in that it's worth watching. I would say that.
I'm just
Like especially in the beginning when the guy's like trying to light the fire on his hand for the rally.
God,
he's like,
that was
Hail
bad.
Satan! He's like, Hail Satan! And he's trying to make it happen.
like
for his
there are definitely some dudes in there who have spent too much time in their
Yeah.
basements, but
just a little bit.
That's all
but
right.
It was a good watch, and it's cool to see something like that, and it made me understand where that's coming from more than what I've had in my head, and I think most people
you don't feel
have
like
no clue.
I feel like you already had that kind of mentality. Like we both talk about all the time and seem to agree that religion has no place in.
No, I understand that. I'm saying
The state.
I didn't know that particular group was about what they were talking about. I thought it was they just worship the devil and they want to kill everybody and see the world burn.
Who told you that?
I mean, come on. I grew up around a lot of different religious groups that bury that into your head that is the case. So to me, it was just kind of eye-opening.
I
to
never
go,
heard of
okay.
Satanists growing up, except for like
I didn't
basically
until
what I
that
thought
one.
Satanism was growing up was like witchcraft.
Right.
Because that's what, all my grandma told me was witches, they worship the devil. So
Witches ride broomsticks in the night.
and worship Satan. Hocus Pocus. In Hocus Pocus, they worship the devil. That's where
Yeah.
they get their power from.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, we have to watch that. Well,
I did watch it the other day.
we have our mistake. The first movie we ever bought on our Amazon account was Halloween Town. The Disney
were
Channel
trying to buy-
the Zoog Channel movie.
Trying to buy Hocus Pocus.
Trying to buy Hocus Pocus, and we bought Halloween Town, which
How
is
do you make that mistake?
absolutely horrible. It's so bad. Marnie and the gang. But now it's kind of a tradition. We watch it every year because we bought it. We're like, well, I guess we got to watch it.
We do.
Just throw it in the background because it's absolutely horrible.
What about 2 and 3? I mean, do I get the whole trilogy? Like, do you have those?
I couldn't bring myself to that now. You only get one.
You're buying them.
I'm not buying them.
Well, your account.
Dude, whenever you watch, I haven't even seen this in a year. And the cabbie, the cab driver is the skeleton dude.
Yeah.
It's
Name's
when
Benny.
Benny. When you see, not that Benny, when you see the makeup job and like the effects, you just go, dude, did a high school play put this together? Like it is some of the worst like makeup on some of the actors in Halloween Town. You're like, dude, Like this is bad. It's real bad. It's like going to a Spirit Halloween store.
Yeah,
getting
but
a
it
kit,
was
coming
made.
home.
Oh
Jeez,
my
dude.
God.
This dog and a cat, they've bonded, I guess.
Yeah, that sounds like bondage.
Bondage.
Yeah.
They bonded, and they're running around like going
God,
crazy.
he's huge.
Yes.
Every time we leave, we come back and he's like double the freaking size.
Yeah, he's getting big.
All right. Well, I know there is a lot of stuff planned. Dave, if you want to get into your gaming.
I was just going to say, let's go ahead and cover some gaming news. So we covered the Fortnite thing. That's, kind of shocking the world right now, but it's going to end tomorrow. People will be back to playing their Fortnite.
The world's going to end tomorrow?
Yes. No, the world's ending right now. The world will be saved tomorrow when Fortnite
If you're under
comes
the
back.
age of 9, the world is ending right now.
I don't know what the fuck happened with Fortnite. That's why I haven't said a single word about it.
They literally put the map in a black hole. Like they did a big event
Removed
where
it, destroyed it.
like these spaceships were flying all around the map like rockets, and then a meteor came crashing down, and everyone's characters who was in the map like flew out into space, and they just watched the map crumble, and then everyone's games went to a menu where it's just a black hole on the menu, and you can't play.
Yep. They removed it.
And they deleted every tweet on their Twitter account. The header and photos are of the black hole, and it just links to a live stream of the black hole.
That is so genius.
It's
God, I
great.
love that.
So, yeah, I'm sure every kid is freaking out that they can't play Fortnite, but hopefully they're excited when the new map comes. In other gaming news, the new Doom got delayed by like 4 months. Something like that. It was supposed to come out next month. It is now coming out next year in March. So that is one of those things where the game got delayed, but everyone rather would have a good game and let it be
Yeah.
delayed.
Well, that's
So-
good.
Is that not how everybody feels all of the time?
No, people
No.
want their games yesterday. Like, rush them out. Give me a yearly
want
game
it
every
now.
year. Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I'm in the minority then because I'd much rather wait. However, hopefully, have you seen anything on updates for Borderlands 3? Because last I checked, I can't run a single other program, no Spotify, no nothing while I'm running that game or it
will
crashes my
crash.
PC.
I have not spotted anything for Borderlands. I'll look into that, though. But yeah, they've been having a
We
lot of
covered that a
problems.
long time ago, or not a
Few
long
weeks
time
ago.
but yeah, a few weeks
Yeah,
ago.
because it was overheating and crashing consoles, and I was like, I hadn't played it yet. I was like, I'm curious if it'll crash my PC. On my PC, it's crashed 3 times in very random places.
Still, it's just
And
that
then-
should not happen.
It
Yeah,
crashed
I
when we were
agree.
trying to stream the other night, but when I tried to launch it the other day and I had Discord running, it crashed 6 times in 5 or 6 minutes. Every time it would launch, I would get about 10 seconds into the game crash.
Wow.
I had to close out Discord. You cannot run Discord. Well, on mine. It's really fucking
That's
stupid.
crazy.
Oh, I looked at the amount of memory that Discord was taking up, and it was like 168. What was it? Mega.
Yeah, megabytes probably.
Buttholes.
That's really not that bad.
No, that's not. Your Chrome browser is easily going to eat up a lot more than that.
Gigs.
But yeah. So also Steam is working on a new multiplayer technology to bring couch co-op to the internet. So games that are designed for couch co-op, they're going to make it where you can basically stream the other players in, and only the host has to own the game.
Oh, interesting.
Mhm.
That's really
So they're
Weird.
going to be beta testing that, which that I think opens up the idea of there are certain games that not many are designed for couch co-op, but like a game like A Way Out, like they could
Yeah.
now port that game over to. I don't even know if it's on PC. It might be. Is
yeah,
it?
It's on PC.
Okay. Well, now you could actually play with a buddy online with this new feature instead of both of you having to be at the same room.
You didn't have to be in the same room. You could play it with somebody else just randomly.
Really?
Yeah. I did a
What?
series on it.
That's
But-
interesting.
Yeah. I mean, like, it can be done.
Oh, well,
I don't know what Steam's up to. That's why I'm genuinely generally interested in about it.
Genuinely.
It's
Man, I can't freaking speak because
Generally.
we all got no sleep last night.
yeah.
Thanks, Dave, by
Dave
the
had a
way.
party of
Damn. Yeah, we all stayed sober the last couple days.
Yeah.
And then last night, I was like, everybody's like in bed and settled down for the night. It's like 9:30. It's early. And we're like, where the hell is Dave? I don't know what time you came up, but I remember hearing it.
I
like,
was out by the pool.
Fucking train came through.
My back finally didn't hurt, so I was having a good time.
That's good.
Jesus.
I spent so much time in the pool. So
I
much
just,
time.
I know you went out, I guess to get a soda or something. And I heard the door, like Jeff's coming in the door, and I hear, "I love you, Jeff." Dave shouting
that
through
happened
the
a couple
kitchen.
times. That happened a
I
couple times.
love you, Jeff.
I was like, and he's like, "Can you give me a hug?" I was like, "I gave you one when I was out here earlier."
You're gonna read me a bedtime story.
I don't know.
I love this. This is what I feel like my life calling is replaying people's drunkenness for them. That's something I enjoy very much.
Yeah, but most people don't like hearing that about themselves.
Oh, I hate it.
You
Oh
hate
my
it.
god,
You're like,
I will.
Yeah.
La 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 la. If
I'm
someone
like,
tries telling
I did
me.
that. Interesting. That's not good.
Yeah. So in gaming news,
So anyway,
the PS5 was officially announced. It is the PS5, and they focused on the controllers, stuff about the disc. Not a ton of information has come out on it. The leaked images of the weird one that's got like, I don't know if you've seen like the leaked PS5 images. Those are concepts based on dev kits. So apparently the dev kits that are going out kind of look like that, but that is not what it's going to look like. It got a release window of holiday 2020. So yeah, PS5 actually announced. And then Sony did something kind of not cool. They put out the PS5 announcements, and then later that day laid off tons of people. They hit
why?
basically is a some people think that the timing was planned as kind of a control for the press. They're like, look, PS5, and then they laid off whole divisions in Europe, a few divisions in America.
It's console gaming. Just not, what is the reason for that?
So from what I was reading, a lot of it had to do with that the European branches are they're phasing them out, and the American branch is taking over most of that work.
Gotcha.
So I mean, it could have the timing could just be weird, but it's like I hate to say it, but sometimes when jobs get phased out, like you can't just hire people to do nothing. Like sometimes people lose their job.
Yeah.
But they did it the same day.
That's not cool.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I think that was smart on their part, though, wasn't it?
I mean, it was
They
you're
laid
an
off all those
asshole.
people. They didn't want bad news.
It
that
was a
they were
smoke
like,
screen. Yeah. They were like, here's some PS5 info, not a lot. Look, 100 gig Blu-ray discs. And meanwhile, like probably a few hundred people are losing their jobs.
Oh, yeah, that's what they had to do. I don't think that was a shitty move. That was a business move.
Yeah. No, it's smart business. But yeah, I mean, it's never fun to hear people lose their jobs. But
Yeah, I don't know. I've enjoyed listening to people get fired a couple times.
We did
Like,
have
yeah,
the,
bitch, I told you to replace the supplies when you clean up and close for the night, and you didn't. And now I got to watch you get the boot.
Those are satisfying things.
I'm
Yeah.
just letting you know.
okay.
I mean,
All right.
maybe they were slacking off. Man. They weren't doing enough for the PS5, and bye-bye.
Yep. But yeah, that's it in gaming news. I'll be covering more on the PS5 as we get info. We'll probably talk about Fortnite's new map next week also. So
Little speculation is that there was that leaked NDA letter from a property management company that basically was basically Take-Two Interactive and Rockstar Games was scouting interiors in South Florida. They didn't even say Miami, but basically Miami. So rumors could be in Florida, could be Vice City. And I was thinking about that. That'd be really, really cool to have a Vice City that was era-driven. So you have like the 80s or 70s, 80s, 90s, whatever you want to do. Like that's a huge amount of cars and stuff you're going to have to make and people. But we saw that in Red Dead Redemption the aging of the characters. So if you could see something like that, I think that that'd be brilliant. Now, Dan Houser of Rockstar has always said that the next GTA after 5, they go, there's no way we can't do it not in a modern day world. It just it works now the way they have the whole universe set up. And the only way I can see them changing that up would be by doing a time era, which would be awesome.
Or maybe because we had Vice City, it could just be modern day Miami. And
eventually, maybe you get to that point.
Or the whole game could just be modern day. I mean, it'd be cool to have the Vice City in modern graphics and the engine. Like, it would be amazing. But if they're saying they don't want to do an era game, I mean,
I'm not talking about
why
those
can't they just
crappy
change the
videos.
location? Why are you guys? Why is this such a big deal about what era it's in?
What do you mean? Because Vice City is like such a huge nostalgic thing for so many gamers.
Yeah, but like Dave was just saying, why not? Like, why are you discrediting the fact that it could just be in the Vice City setting, Miami?
Yeah.
In modern day.
Yeah, it very much could be. That'd be awesome.
I know. Where's this coming from that it's a timepiece, though? Where do people keep saying that?
No, I'm saying that would be really cool if it was.
Oh, it's just like a
I
hope.
absolutely said this was all speculation. I did not say this is gaming news by any means.
Speculation means somebody thinks that's real.
I do.
Jeff thinks it's real.
And I'm asking, what is your backup to that? I'm not trying to question your.
I don't know. I'm just saying I think that would be really, really neat. Because we've seen what they've done with Red Dead Redemption 2, where you can actually move through time and you see the aging of characters. That makes sense that they could do something like that.
There's been a lot of rumors and leaks that none of them have been confirmed, or half of them have been disproven. But they do keep coming up saying that the game will have a time element to it. And
I don't believe in any of that crap. Like those pictures and stuff that were leaked. Those are
those were fake. Yeah, they got debunked. But it's just one of those things where it's like when rumors kind of keep coming up, I don't believe them right away, but it's like maybe there's something there. Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
Can I just get this off my chest?
Yes.
I just really want Rockstar to make a game that takes place in the far future. Like, we need some future games from them, and I want there to be a leader on Mars, and this takes place on Mars after it's been colonized for a few thousand years.
That'd be cool.
And President Elon Musk, or whatever they want to call him.
He'd be the founding father of Mars.
Yeah, but let's make a city on Mars, and now let's go make a game in that. You know what I'm saying?
Grand Theft Space?
Yeah, I don't
Not
like
to be
the
confused with the
overly
mod.
I don't like the overly realistic setting. I think that's why I don't get into GTA a lot.
I like it.
Fantasy stuff.
Well, it's a parody on the real world. That's why they have all their own made up brands, everything, and everything is to an extreme because they're making fun of reality, which is what makes it so good.
I get the joke, but I'm kind of over it.
I'm
I've
I'm a
already heard the
diehard-
punchline, and they just keep going. You get it? You get it?
I'm a
I
diehard
get
Grand
it.
Theft Auto fan. It's always been pretty much that way. And seeing what they did with the with Vice City and then moving to San Andreas was really cool. Go to 80s to 90s, and then they're in modern day after that. And they've been there ever since.
Mm-hmm.
They went to 4, and they're like, boom.
I mean, honestly, as long as they put in the quality that their last few games have had, it could be based Mars, future, past.
Yeah,
I wouldn't care. I'll play it.
Yeah,
it's going to be
play it.
good.
I agree.
I don't think they're capable of making a bad game at this point.
Very true.
Jeff is zoned out. You just panned over to him, and he's
I don't know why he
staring
panned
in
over
his
me.
I thought you were going to say something. I'm trying to
I'm
predict.
not saying anything.
That was a good prediction. Dave's testing his psychic powers. Hang on, Dave. See who's gonna talk next. Who do you think it's gonna be?
Wow, this is beautiful.
This is
audio.
riveting content right here. Yes. Especially for those listening.
What I don't get is I just don't care. Do you guys enjoy doing this?
Doing what?
Doing the podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why wouldn't I?
Well, then we're obviously never gonna be the best. I'm just saying, you guys know that, right?
I'm not trying to be anything.
That's what
I'm just sitting here
I'm
talking.
saying.
We will be the best.
The best at what though?
The best at podcasting.
How do you even do that? So subjective.
We are going to be the best podcasters ever.
Good God.
Yes.
Whatever. I just don't see why. Like, I just felt like you were a little upset about that message.
Me?
Yeah.
I was the least upset of that message. That message had nothing to do with anything else.
I mean, I'm just saying, like I wouldn't have even read through it.
Why? It's something to talk about. I like to see when people like there was actually decent. It was a decent written thing. It wasn't just like go fuck your mom.
Yeah.
It was like, what do you have to bring to the table? What is your
Yeah,
qualifications?
but who is anybody to be like prove yourself to me? I think that's weird.
I do too.
You
I'm
know,
just saying.
people-
That's why I can't
he
do.
probably has to prove himself to everyone every day. So
Yeah.
he's just projecting it. That's my guess.
I don't know. Even like doing hair and stuff, being in a salon, like it's a very competitive business, and you have to be good to make money. But if somebody came to me and was like, "No, prove it," and I'd just be like, "Well, stick around or have me if you want, or don't if you don't. I really don't care." I don't know. It just seems weird to me.
Well, we
Also-
will not be talking about anything like that in the future. Let's strike it.
I just wish it would have been
Oh.
funny. Like, be funny. Like,
Okay, for you haters at home listening that made it this far in, if you're gonna insult us, be funny.
thank you.
It better
That's
be
exactly what I was trying to say.
Wha-
Just make it funny.
Don't hate if you're not funny.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Otherwise, it's
Just
just
took a
boring.
hard turn.
I don't know what that dog's doing, but he's just
I-
losing his mind in there.
He's
Hey,
Oh shit.
I had to discipline him. I mean, he's just sitting there biting his cage over and over again.
He's not biting his cage. He's got a toy in the corner he's chewing on. It's in his paws.
yeah. Well, either way, you can just hear.
It's the sound of my people. It's beautiful. So what I'm realizing too is that we are losing time very quickly. Not with the podcast. It actually feels like it's going by really slow. I'm probably going to write you guys a mean comment this week about how boring this was. But I feel like we're losing time this year. It feels like we're just in St. Louis,
Yeah.
and now it's like going to be time to move in like 2.5 months. We got to find a place to live.
Yep.
It's coming up fast.
It's real fast.
Shit.
Well, when we were in St. Louis, I was like, I told my family and stuff because they were like, "Oh, well, it's so far away." I'm like, "It's 4 months." I was like, "We kept saying 6. Was less than 6." So yeah, we're only 3 months away out, like 3 months out now from having to move.
Yeah. Guys,
It's come out quick.
where we going to live?
Well, I know they got double dumpsters behind the taco place in the Loop, so you guys can have one. I can take the
The
other.
Loop.
Oh, that's cozy.
Of all places, I would rather live in a dumpster
Wait, it's
in the
behind
outskirts.
it's behind a what?
Never in the Loop.
One of the taco places.
How sweet. We can live on tacos. We can probably do that, I think.
Yes,
But
I used to.
live on tacos? Not a bad way to live.
Yeah, I don't think
It's
so.
not a good way to live. I mean,
Definitely not.
damn. That's all I brought to the table today with my opinions.
I mean, it's a lot of show notes here to go through.
Yeah, well, I mean, I honestly I thought we would talk about the trip more.
I tried talking about your drunkenness because that was my favorite part of the
Well, you
trip.
didn't even bring
but you
up the
got shut
best
down.
story from it.
Oh, shit.
I thought that was going to be your main focus, and you didn't even talk about how you saved my life and then tried to kill me.
Why didn't you bring it up? I forgot
I'm
all
bringing it
about
up now.
that.
Yes.
So
Man.
little context
Yeah, I haven't been
for
looking
everyone.
at this very
What was it? Friday night, Thursday night. The first night we were there, we had some drinks, and I'm not drinking I don't drink really that often anymore. So I had a bit too many, and we were leaving, and our Airbnb was on the second story, so we had a flight of stairs. These were just wooden stairs. There was probably, 14, 15 steps.
Yep, they're painted
Yeah.
with like indoor paint. So when they get wet, they're slippery as shit.
Yes. And we were leaving, and I was wearing flip-flops. And me and you were at the top of the stairs, and I stepped out, and I slipped and started to fall, and you caught me. And I was like, oh, thanks, you saved my life.
No.
Okay,
That was
you
way
tell
not
it,
good.
because
You were like
I
this.
was very
Oh my
inebriated.
god! Oh my god! You saved my life! You saved my life! Oh my god! You just saved my life! Thank you! And I was like, I did. You're welcome. I'm kind of a hero. And then you were like, okay. And I go, man, be careful. And you go, I will. He steps on the next step, and his feet go flying up from under him, and lands on his butt. Boom, 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 boom. The whole way down, all the way down to the bottom.
Yeah, no, I didn't land on my butt. I landed on my left lower back, and then bounced all the way to the bottom, and I'm still
I want to see.
covered.
You got a
in
bruise?
I didn't see one on my back, but like on my wrist, like my upper arms, my elbow, like everything is just sore.
I'm just so happy you didn't go down face first. Like
Oh,
you
that
could
would've
have
been so bad.
broken your face.
Oh, I could have died. Yeah.
I went down too
Well,
the same day.
Yeah, and that I did try to save Dave when he fell down the stairs the second time. I grabbed him with my right arm. I like hooked it under yours, and you about tore my arm off. And I was just like, "Nope, you're going. Bye, goodbye."
Mm-hmm.
You left
Wait.
with like a sprained ankle, just about.
Yeah, I was going down into that little area where the other grill was, because we were taking the
We're stealing propane.
the propane. We're taking the propane off so we could use it for the little fire pit there. And when I went down and sprained my ankle, went straight down. And then the next day, I was like, because it was pitch dark when that happened.
Yeah.
The next day, I was like, what happened? Well, the way that was designed was there was, a normal step, and then the third step was just really long.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, no wonder that happened, because I completely overstepped it, went straight down into basically a couple feet drop.
Yeah.
So
It was worth it, though. I mean, that Airbnb was so nice that, like, if the fee to stay there was someone had to go down the stairs. I mean,
that's what happened.
Except the first night we were there, we did get the cops called because they told us to be out of the pool by 11. And it was like 10:20, and one of the neighbors called the cops on us. Which is funny because when we went to St. Louis, our psychic told Dave that we were going to have the cops called on us soon, and he was answering the door. And he did answer when the cop did arrive to yell at us. She was super friendly.
she didn't yell. She literally just walked up, and I looked over, and I just was like, oh, hello. And she's just like, yeah, I got a call. And like,
Which I don't understand.
No, she just asked to see our verification from the landlord.
Yeah,
that,
but somebody called the police on us, and it was us. It was two other people. No, it was four other people in there. That was the quietest party I think I've ever been a part of being broken up. Like there was nothing.
yeah, we didn't have music blasting. Like, it was just some chatter, just some people talking, not a lot of splashing. Like,
Yeah.
it was nothing. It's crazy.
Yeah, she just asked to see the verification that they told us we could stay there till 11. She was so nice. She goes, enjoy your pool time. I was like, I will. Yeah, sorry. I think this day is a little rough, feels a little rough with the podcast because we just got back
We
a
just
couple
got home,
hours
yeah.
ago. And I know, like we were saying, none of us really slept. I couldn't fucking sleep for anything last night. I'm probably
No.
going to fall asleep as soon as we get off of here, honestly.
Yeah, I did. When we got home, I just sat on the couch. I was like, out immediately.
Yeah, I was trying to rally you guys. I was like, all right, we got 15 minutes.
Yep.
Let's go. And I don't know.
Hey, we're here.
No, I was all perked up, ready to go.
That's good.
Sorry about
That's what
it.
we need.
Yep.
You need that every time.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm going to do.
Be excited to do it.
I'll try to find something that I'm qualified to talk about for next week, and I'll prepare more than just my opinion. I'll prepare some.
By the way, that was the
scientific
only
facts.
thing that I had on the show notes, or even brought to the table today. That was it. So
Oh, we can talk about how I changed my hairstyle I don't think Jeff likes it.
What?
You always say, see, this is what I bring. With drama. You're welcome.
Drama.
I brought the
Ooh.
tea.
Oh,
No,
Lord.
because I'm just teasing you, but every time I do my hair and you see me, you're always like, oh my God, you did something to your hair. It looks so good. This time I changed where I part my hair. I've been parting it closer to the middle, and I came out and I was like, hey, I changed my hair. And you're like, I saw that. You're parting it down the middle. And I was like,
I didn't say it like that at all. Like, not at
how
all.
I remember
And
it.
parting your hair is not changing up your hair that much.
Okay.
And you parted it after you colored it, so I was like, okay, well, you colored it. The same, yeah.
Do you love it?
Love it. I don't care. You can wear whatever your hair
Fine.
any way you want to.
See? That's how I feel about emails from people.
It was a
That is the worst
YouTube comment.
analogy. What are you talking about?
I care about my hair, and I want you to care about my hair.
I do care about
You
your
want
hair.
me to care about YouTube comments, then you care about my hair.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah, Jeff's had enough of me today.
I'll be
I'm
sure
gonna
to put it on. Okay. Dave telling me to wrap it up. I'll do my best over here.
What did we do to Jeff today? He's so you're so crabby.
I don't know. What?
I'm not picking up crabby vibes.
Thank you.
On my side, it feels like everyone's just tired.
Yeah, I'm definitely tired. I would agree with that. That'll do it for today's podcast. We'll see you all on Monday of next week.
Next Monday. Remember to make your hate comments funny. Thank you.
We're not reading them. But apart from that, we need to work on the show notes over the week, not the day of.
Yep.
So we'll have something better.
Bye.
Bye.
I fell for fool's gold. I fell for fool's gold. What did I know? What did I know? I fell for fool's gold. I fell for fool's gold. What did I know? What did I know? You were fool's gold. Yes, I did it all for love. Yes, I did it all for love. Yes, I did it all for love. And I did it all for love. Yes, I did it all for love. Oh, they say fools believe in it, so I guess I'm one of them. Oh, don't you know? I fell for fool's gold. I fell for fool's gold. What did I know? What did I